Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is September 30th, 2018. This is the Major League Baseball Playoff edition of the From the Bench podcast. I'm your host, Mark Janish. As promised, I'm here on a Sunday afternoon. The final pitches have been thrown in the Major League Baseball season for all 30 teams. However, the games still are going to go on. There are two game 163s. Now, these games count toward the regular season statistics, by the way. We have the Colorado Rockies and the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers, the defending National League champions, qualified yesterday for a playoff spot. They won today by a score of 15-0. Rich Hill with the victory, improving to 11-5. And, of course, the Colorado Rockies with some power help from Nolan Arenado. Arenado had 2 home runs, leading the Colorado Rockies to a 12-0 shellacking of the Washington Nationals, which could be Bryce Harper's final game in a Washington National uniform. But as we go toward the playoffs, we need to let you know that the Colorado Rockies will be visiting Dodger Stadium, Chavez Ravine, tomorrow at 1:09 p.m. First pitch in Los Angeles. The Dodgers are expected to pitch Walker Buehler, the young rookie. Walker Buehler was held back yesterday in favor of Rich Hill, as I said, who moved to 11-5 today. But we will see. Now, the National League Central Division is another division along the National League West that is going to be forced to see a tiebreaker. And in this case, the Milwaukee Brewers and Christian Yelich are going to be playing for the National League Central title. The 2016 World Series champion Chicago Cubs. The loser of these tiebreaker games between the Brewers and the Cubs and the Dodgers and the Rockies will become the automatic wild card. Now, those games will begin October 2nd and 3rd. I do have the broadcast schedule just posted at accessmediaglobal.com. Going to be very, very interesting. The one team with 95 wins and 67 losses that I wouldn't want to play is the Milwaukee Brewers. So we will see what they do tomorrow in Chicago. We don't know necessarily who's going for either of these teams. Like I said, Walker Buehler is my best guess for the Dodgers, but nothing has been heard from Craig Counsell or any of the management team in Colorado or, for that matter, Joe Madden in Chicago. But I wanted to let you know that we do have a game 163. The playoff schedule is posted here, and we're very, very excited to have the Dodgers back in the playoffs for the 6th straight year. Those of you who are Dodger fans, I grew up a Dodger fan and support the Seattle Mariners, who today finished the regular season 89 wins, 73 losses. I have to say a very disappointing season for the Mariners in the sense that they had 3 good months and were in the running for the American League wild card. And speaking of the American League wild card, at this particular point in time, we have the New York Yankees and the Oakland A's. The wild card, according to the schedule that I've just posted here at accessmediaglobal.com, Tuesday, October 2nd. So there will be a quick turnaround for the Dodgers and the Rockies. Dodgers and or the Rockies. The National League wild card game will be seen on ESPN, and I'll get more into ESPN's schedule for baseball for the next couple of days. Wednesday, October 3rd, will be the American League wild card game, and that's on the Turner Broadcasting System in the United States. Check your local cable and satellite listings around the world or in the United States as well for the time of the game in your area. The AL wild card, very, very intriguing matchup with Aaron Boone and the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees finished 8 games today behind the Boston Red Sox. Congratulations to Aaron Boone. I think, to be honest with you, Mark Chapman, third baseman, and Chris Davis, and as hot as the Oakland A's are playing with Fernando Rodney added to the bullpen, and also closer Blake Trinan was save number 39. The A's are another dangerous team, but we will see whether the New York Yankees can overcome a lot of, I'm not going to say poor pitching. I will say very, very inconsistent pitching over the years. Maybe Zach Britton and all their acquisitions, him among them, can make their way. The disappointing thing here is going to be one of these great teams, as far as the A's winning 98 games, the Yankees winning 100. One of these teams is going to be eliminated very, very quickly in the National League wild card game. But ESPN for the National League wild card game on October 2nd, which is tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday, October 3rd, the American League wild card game on TBS. Now, for tomorrow's broadcast, for those of you who are able to DVR, record some programming, ESPN is going to carry both games. The games will begin about noon Central Time for the Central Division League Championship basic game. The Brewers and the Cubs from Chicago's Wrigley Field. That will be played on the West Coast here at 10 a.m. on ESPN, 10 a.m. And then following that up, as I said earlier, at 1:09 p.m., the defending National League champion Los Angeles Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies with the aforementioned Nolan Arenado will be playing in Los Angeles. So hopefully that should give you at least a rundown of the first few games, Game 163s, and also the MLB schedule. Thanks for listening to this edition of the From the Bench podcast for September 30th. This is the MLB Playoff edition. I'm Mark Janish. I'll return later in the week with some football recaps and some football observations and some baseball observations as well. Keep in mind that the World Series begins October 23rd, and, of course, the wild card playoffs begin October 2nd. Following that on October 3rd with both the American League and National League wild card games. You have a great evening. Thanks for joining me today. And you can listen to any and all podcasts on Libsyn and Stitcher Radio. You can also go to accessmediaglobal.com. Go ahead and use the drop-down menu to listen to any and all episodes of the podcast. Thanks for your listenership and your patronage. You have a great evening once again. Game 163 tomorrow. The Brewers and the Cubs, 10 o'clock a.m. from Chicago on ESPN radio and television. Following that up at 1 p.m. Pacific time with the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies for the National League West Division title. Until then, until later this week, I'm Mark Janish, wishing you a very pleasant good evening, and thank you for listening to the From the Bench podcast. I'm Mark Janish, wishing you a very, very pleasant good day.